Welcome back to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. Welcome back to Bannochbrae Road Circuit with the Ford F-150. This is race 2 of round 8, so that's race number 16. Race 15 was won by Diogo Silva, Simon Allen and Jorge Jesus. This trio was the dominant force in race 1, and again they qualified top 3 for race 2 with Diogo Silva, this time on pole position. But look at that, Simon Allen has actually made a very good start for this second race, and they're side by side into turn 1, and already the battle continues with Simon Allen now going side by side into turn 1. They give each other space, but Jorge Jesus is there. No, he's not there. Actually, Kev Allen is up to third. That was a good start by Kev Allen this time round. And look at this, Simon Allen is going to go into the lead. Simon Allen is in the lead, and Kev Allen wants that second place, but he's made a small mistake, and now here comes Jorge Jesus now into third. Jorge Jesus into third place as the same three drivers continue to lead this pack in the opening corners of this circuit. Look at that, this is Alonso Afonso, Jorge Jesus running right there. Here comes Kev Allen on the outside into the bridge. Difficult to make a move here on the outside. I think Alonso Afonso is going to hold that third place. Yes, he is. Scott Devlin is in fifth place, continue the good job that he did in race 1, and these first few corners have seen no major incidents, just a bit of shoving, as it's really difficult to pass cleanly here with this car. As we saw in race 1, most overtakes were a result of mistakes of the driver in front. Here comes Darren Head. Darren Head has qualified a little bit better than in race 1. Look at this, he's bouncing in the wall. Oh, and the contact there with Scott Davley, and this is a little bit dangerous, and Alonso Afonso has slowed down, possibly after hitting the wall. All sorts of shoving and pushing there into these corners as these drivers try to establish a position in the first lap, because if they do not make a move in the first lap, certainly it's going to be quite complicated. Now this is tricky to pass over here in the chicane, certainly cannot handle a side-by-side situation. Look at that, Jumbo is in the middle of this pack, as I think Darren has actually made a move on Scott Davis. That was a good move there on the inside. Darren is up to fourth, but what happened to Alonso Afonso? He was in third place. I think he just brushed the wall. Look at this, Darren Head all over the place there at the entrance of the final bridge, and just a concertina effect there with everyone pretty much hitting the back of another driver. Looks a bit like carriages of a train. Scott Davley is trying to hold to that fifth position. He lost fourth position. Now he's under pressure from Jumbo in sixth place, and Alonso Afonso, who has brushed the wall and had to slow down in the opening lap, is down to 7th. So a lot of work to do for Jorge Jesus to recover a podium position. He certainly seems to have very good pace around here, but he's going to have to do a few overtakes, and we are being told in the meantime that Diogo Silva this time round has actually picked up 4 seconds of penalties already in the opening lap alone. So clearly Simon Allen, not only he's leading on the road. Look at this, there's a crash there almost. That was Alonso Afonso trying to overtake someone, and that someone was Jumbo, I believe. And look at that, all sorts of pushing and shoving there, going through the corner after well, turn 2 actually, as Jumbo now down to 7. Scott Davley is down to 6 as well, because Alonso Afonso managed in one go also to overtake the American driver, who is now again under pressure from Jumbo, but this time round for 6th place rather than 5th. And Alonso Afonso actually making a very fast recovery indeed. He recovered to 5th. Now he's got Darren Head there, and he's not too far behind Kev Allen either, so it's not implausible that he's going to be in contention for at least a podium, considering that we are on lap 2 out of 8. We continue to follow Jumbo. Jumbo is behind Scott Davley, who in turn is behind Alonso Afonso, but the expectation is that Jorge Jesus, Alonso Afonso, is his nickname, also known as Roger in the PS Old Folks world. expectation is that George can actually run away from these drivers. Let's see if that materializes or not. Diogo Silva, in the meantime, even if he has 4 seconds of penalties, is putting some pressure into Simon Owen. And look at this is a very nice chase camera here at the Bannochbrae road circuit as they continue to enter the for the second time the final bridge, and this looks as if is being taken by from another car, but there is no one actually that close behind Diogo Silva. Darren Head is really a little bit all over the place, but that all over the place driving seems to be working because he's recovered a lot of ground, and he's actually sitting behind Simon Allen. So Darren again in a little bit of damage limitation mode because he's already 7 seconds from the leaders, but this time round at least he's battling for third. And look at this, Kev Allen has spun again, and this has been a recurring theme here at the Bannochbrae in this race. Is now disastrously looking the other way, is the wrong way around, and it's going to take a lot of time for him to press the reset button because pretty much the whole field needs to go through. He's dropping, he dropped to 9th. I think 9th is where he dropped. Look at this side-by-side racing into turn 1. This is quite interesting. That's Jambo on Scott Davely, and Jambo is going to shut the door. Yes, he is. That was a nice move by Jambo, even if he did run wide and brushed off the wall. It was still a good move. Look at that. Oh, that's Stuart Brand, and almost contact there with the Chris Russell, who is now trying to make a move on Scott Davely. Scott moving a little bit backwards in this race. He's lost the position to George. Now he's lost to Jambo, and he's down to 6th, and now he's really under pressure from Chris Russell as leader Simon Allen continues to be under pressure from Diogo. But this is what we saw in race 1. Drivers of the same caliber do find it hard to make an overtaking move if the driver in front makes no mistakes, and certainly Simon Allen is making absolutely no mistakes whatsoever. He won the first race on the road, and only through penalties was he pushed by Diogo Silva into second place. Alonso Afonso now very aggressive there through that corner, but not brushing the wall. He is, however, just behind Darren Head, so Darren's third place could evaporate in the coming laps. And I think Alonso Afonso is not only with better pace, he's also very, very eager indeed to get that position from Darren. So this could be quite a fascinating battle between two top drivers here as well. And let's see what type of overtaking move Alonso Afonso is going to try as they now go through the village and into the church chicane there, flat out, but no side-by-side racing. But now there is a small possibility that he takes an inside here, not quite. Maybe in the entrance of the bridge there is this S chicane, and Darren seems to be a little bit over the. Look at this now, Darren is actually losing time there through contact, but was a nice move in the end, a little bit helped by Darren just looking out of shape. And here comes Scott Davely. Actually Darren Head, oh no, Scott Davely, that was a move on Jambo, not on Darren Head. Jambo is actually moving backwards, he's slowing down and has lost 1, 2, 3 positions. Jambo is completely moving backwards in this race. I think he may have brushed the wall and lost a lot of momentum, and then this car is not very good when it loses momentum, and that's a little bit of an understatement. Jambo is down to 8th place, so Scott Davely has gone up to 5th, Chris Russell up to 6th, and Stuart Brand, after a disappointing first race, is up now into 7th place and very, very close to a top 5 position, because these drivers are all nose to tail here between Scott Davely, Chris Russell, Stuart Brand and Jambo are a group of 4. Look at this now, actually Twixter is making a move on Scott Davely and manages to overtake him, and Chris Russell goes up into 5th place as there was a little bit of contact there at the back, as Scott Davely is now the man that is under pressure. Let's see, is this a replay? It is a replay of what happened there. Look at that. Oh, and this is Jumbo. Oh, and Jumbo has been hit by Kev Allen. Jumbo has been hit by Kev Allen because he just went into the barrier, but in the wrong way, so he was a little bit stuck there, and Kev Allen coming behind, no chance whatsoever. And Scott Davely ends up, sorry, that was not Jumbo, that was Jumbo, no, that was Jumbo and Scott Davely, sorry, that was not Kev Allen, I apologize. Scott Davely has lost a lot of time, he's down into 7th, as Diogo Silva now is really on the back of Simon Allen. He really needs to get ahead of Simon and try to open a little bit of a gap. Now look at that, they're side by side. Is Diogo going to go for it? No, he backs out of it there because there was no... Oh, and look at this, Simon now has made a mistake again, and Diogo again tries to go on the inside, but not enough space in this particular corner to make a move. But I wonder what has happened there at the back. Chris Russell is up to 5th. I think that Chris made a move on Scott, and then Scott just lost it, and then Jumbo was the driver that lost the most time over there. Kev Allen managed to get a few positions, and look at that, that's a group I'm talking about here, as Kev Allen is now in 8th place. Scott Davely, after that incident, is down to 7th, but look at that, that's Chris Russell and also Stuart Brand. They're all nose to tail, and certainly Frankie and Jumbo are not far behind. Very, very animated battle between these 4 drivers. Look at that, Scott Davely tried to go for the inside there and manages to get his nose, but now he's opened the gap. Look at that, he closes the door, shuts the door on Kev Allen, and that was good defense there by Scott. He really could not afford to lose yet another position. At this point, they're going around the lake now with the typical Scottish monster. There, look at that, completely out of shape. And this was a little bit tricky there. Scott vigorously defended his position after being completely out of shape after the jump. And Kev Allen really has a bit more pace than Scott. He just cannot find a way around him, and this is what these races have been characterized since lap 1 of race 1. Very, very tricky to go around, and really tire wear is almost non-existent in this car as well, so really no loss of performance over the race. Now here comes Kev Allen. Now I think he's got a clean move on Scott Davely finally. Yes, he has. Kev Allen goes into 7th place, and Scott Davely continues to drop backwards. He's now in 8th. He's not far behind 6th place, but certainly he's not been moving in the right direction at all. Here comes Diogo Silva now. In the last lap, Simon made a mistake at the exit of this corner. Let's see if Diogo can take the advantage now as they both go. Simon running slightly wide, but manages to keep his composure around that section. Now Diogo is actually quite fast through these jumps, but really no way that he can go here. He tries to show himself to Simon Allen. Hey, I'm here, I want to go through, but really no chance whatsoever at this stage. Scott Davely is now losing touch with that pack, as look at that, the battle for the lead, which is really not for the lead, because Simon Allen in fact has a 4-second advantage due to Diogo's penalty, but Diogo really wants to at least have a chance to lead this race on the road and try to open a gap. It's not very likely that in 3 laps he's going to manage to open a 4-second gap, but you certainly never know. And here at Bannochbrae it's not over until it's over. Very, very treacherous. Now look at that, Simon now makes a mistake at the exit of the bridge, and now here comes Diogo Silva side by side, and I think he's going to go for it. Yes, he's going to go for it. Yes, he's going to go for it. Diogo Silva is the leader on the road of this race, but Simon Allen still leads by virtue of Diogo's penalty of 4 seconds, but now at least he's got a little bit of a chance to try to open a gap. They are about to enter lap 6. There are 3 laps to go. Look at that, Diogo being very aggressive there in the last corner, but ending up losing a little bit of time. And here comes now Simon Allen. Simon Allen is going to try to make a move, but Diogo is protecting the inside. At this point he's really on the left lane, if you think about it, in this road. Now coming to take the racing line, and no chance whatsoever. Diogo is in the middle of the track, no blocking there, but just some vigorous defending, as he has to do at the moment. He just needs to now catch a little bit of a break and try to open a gap. Scott Davely, what has happened here? He's hit the wall again, and he is well, Kev Allen is now on the outside of Stuart Brand, and that's a very brave move indeed there at the entrance of the village section. Oh, and now Stuart loses it, and now Kev Allen is going to go for the inside, and look at that, someone in front of them, that's Chris Russell, also has lost it, and everyone is just losing it. And look at that, now contact between Stuart Brand and Kev Allen, but can Kev Allen actually go ahead? Yes, he can. Kev Allen is up to 6th place, and this was very beneficial for Chris Russell, who was all over the place at the village. And look at that, here comes Scott Davely, as Kev Allen has made a mistake and has also lost time, and oh, look at that, Scott shutting the door on Kev, now recovering the position, and he certainly wants more because he's trying to make a move now on Stuart Brand. Very nice racing between all these drivers. Look at it now, Stuart all over the place at the exit of the bridge. Here comes Kev Allen, and also Scott Davely. Scott has gone through, so Scott in recovery mode. Now up to 6th, Kev Allen up to 7th. They're side by side into the jump with Stuart Brand, but Kev is going to go for it, and he's going to go now for Scott again. Look at that amazing racing here in the midfield. That's awesome racing. A little bit of contact, a little bit of pushing and shoving, but very, very clean racing indeed. Oh, Scott has lost it now. Oh, Scott has lost it, and Kev has hit him, and look at that. That's Scott Davely up in the air. Scott Davely, the American driver with the American truck, has definitely made an American show out of this. Look at that. He almost ended up in the lake. Dear me, that was scary, and that was very scary indeed, as this is the replay again from Scott's perspective. Look at this, he's going to lose it on his own. I think no contact there whatsoever from Kev. It was just Scott on his own, just pushing a little bit too hard, spins, and then up in the air he goes, up in the air. And this has been an amazing advert for what this car can do for the daily lives of many, many millions of Americans. Scott Davely has experienced himself. Now he's down into 10th place, and that's not good. Look at this, someone is sideways there. Oh, that's Jumbo. I think this is still the replay as Jumbo basically makes it through that sort of like minefield of very, very slow for F-150. So Jumbo manages to get a number of positions. He had lost time in that earlier incident in turn 3, now recovered a lot of time, and now he's shaken up. This has shaken up a little bit the field. Biggest beneficiaries are actually Jumbo, and Frankie as well is now up into 8th place. Kev Allen down to 9th. Of course, he was caught right behind Scott, so the first impact was from Kev. Surprisingly, Stuart Brand has actually managed to hit Scott and continue as nothing had happened. Look at this now. Diogo Silva made the mistake, but so did Simon Allen. But Simon clearly now playing the long game on lap 6. He knows he's got 4 seconds advantage, so he only needs to stay right behind Diogo. He's going to be the winner of this race in almost reverse roles from the first race, where Simon won on the road and Diogo won the race because of penalties. Now it's the other way around, and Simon Allen is certainly looking forward to a victory without too much effort at this stage. Kev Allen, what is this? He's behind Frankie. I thought that was Scott Davely, but Scott has in fact lost one more position. Frankie was also affected by that incident, but managed to actually recover a couple of places with it. Kev Allen certainly wants the position. Now Frankie is trying to defend on the inside as they go and enter the village section, and now comes Kev Allen on the inside. Is a tricky place to pass because and Frankie just shuts the door, as he is entitled to do, as they actually are recovering a lot of ground to the next drive. Now Mistake by Frankie at the exit there, and then into the chicane. Here comes Kev Allen. Yeah, oh, and they crashed. Yes, this is what happens. Exactly what happens if. Ooh, look at. Oh, and now it's Kev Allen in the air. Kev Allen in the air was hit by Scott Davely. This is almost payback for the previous hit. Fortunately, Kev Allen manages to press the reset button. But really going side by side with Frankie into that chicane wasn't the smartest idea by both drivers. Look at this now. Simon Allen is again trying to retake the lead. He's not happy with second place on the road. He wants a little bit more. Only 2 laps to go, and certainly Diogo seems to be losing time in the start-finish straight. That was already the case in race 1, and certainly Simon is almost side by side when they get into turn 1. But Simon really doesn't need to try as hard as this. He's certainly going to win this race as it stands. Let's have a bit of a roundup. Alonso Jorge Jesus has recovered to third, although he's 15 seconds away from the leaders. Darren Head is in fourth, so again damage limitation, but at least this time with a fourth place for Darren, as we see some very static cows. Now they actually moved there, so nicely done. The simulation only does not only cover the cars, it also covers the cows, and look at this, it certainly covers the pursuit of Simon Allen to try to retake the lead here in Bannochbrae Road Circuit in Scotland, the land of the Scotch, the land of the monster of Loch Ness, the land of the Highlands, the land of old folks racing, as well as Frankie, who has had a bit of a roller coaster of a lap, recovering positions with the Kev Allen Scott Davely incident, which also involves Stuart Brand, and then losing time going side by side into the church chicane with the Kev Allen himself. Now he is in 11th place, and Chris Winstanley has actually moved up to 10th with all this mayhem. Scott Davely, by the way, has recovered to 8th again. Simon Allen is now at the end of the 7th lap, certainly very, very close to winning this race. The difference between them is 4/10 of a second, and Diogo has a 4-second penalty, so still a gap more than 10 times comfortable for Simon Allen as they go into the jump for the penultimate time. And really Simon Allen is going to be a very deserving winner indeed of this race. Look at this, Frankie now making a mistake, but so did Chris Winstanley. This is the battle for the top 10. Frankie trying to recover from the earlier problems and certainly seems to have more pace than Chris, as now he's going for the inside, and I think this is going to work if he manages. It's a bit tricky to go side by side over here, but Chris is probably going to leave him room. Yes, Chris Winstanley there gave him room, and Frankie is up into the top 10. Simon, no, loses it again, and now they're going side by side into the chicane again, and this didn't work very well last time, but now they're side by side again, and what's going to happen? This is not going to end well. No, it didn't end well as expected. Exactly the replay of what happened last time, but I think Frankie this time managed to overtake Chris Winstanley, who got the worst out of it. He didn't. Frankie did look to get ahead, but had a little bit more problems getting refired and back into racing momentum. So Chris Winstanley actually is in 10th place, and you don't have to be a PhD scientist to know that side by side into the chicane was going to end like that. Maybe 99% of the time. Still Frankie still hoping for a top 10, but he'll probably have to find another overtaking spot to execute the overtake. He certainly seems to have more pace. Look at this, he was overtaken by Chris and he's now recovered and he's now again on Chris's tail. That's again showing that in Old Folks Racing there are battles throughout the field. We have a battle up front, and actually Diogo Silva, interestingly, has opened a gap of 1 second. That's the biggest gap we've seen between first and second in the entire race. Now only 3 seconds to go. He's certainly trying hard because he literally has nothing to lose. Even if he makes a mistake and Simon Allen goes through, he will be classified in second because he certainly has a comfortable enough advantage over Jorge Jesus. It's 15 seconds, so effectively 11 seconds that he still has in hand over Jorge as they go through the final set of corners. And here comes Diogo Silva to take the checkered flag. But Simon Allen is going to be the winner. Look at this, 1.2 seconds now. So the difference is growing, but it's too little too late. I think from Diogo Silva, this final lap has been good, but he had to do it. He had to do this over the previous few laps to try to at least open a more significant gap. Here he comes in the last few corners of this race, the Bannochbrae Road Circuit race here for Old Fox Racing. It has been an extremely interesting combo, and here comes Diogo Silva to take the checker flag, but it's Simon Allen who is going to win again in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. These two drivers have dominated this race together with Jorge Jesus, and it will be the same drivers on the podium but in a different order. Diogo Silva takes the checkered flag, but Simon Allen takes the victory here in race 16 of Old Fox Racing Spring Championship, and Alonso Fonso is going to be this time a distant third, but certainly another podium collected by the Portuguese driver. That was a very good race. Fourth place is going to be championship leader Darren Head. I think he's still going to be the championship leader after this, if my arithmetic is correct. We'll double check the standings after the race finishes, but Darren finishing in fourth place. Fifth is going to be Chris Russell. That was a better race for him in the race 2 compared to race 1. Sixth is going to be Stuart Brand again. Very good upgrade in performance here in race 2 for Stuart. Seventh is going to be Jambo, has been yo-yoing in this midfield. And look at that, Kev Allen has actually overtaken Scott Davely, so Scott is down to 9th, and certainly race 2 has gone a lot worse for him with multiple incidents. 10th is going to be Chris Winstanley. He's going to manage to look at this is the battle for the top 10, and can Frankie now make one last attempt, and maybe Chris is going to lose the position. No, he's made a mistake now, but he's protecting the position. Frankie is trying to go on the outside, really doesn't work, but now in the last corner, could we see a side-by-side finish between these two drivers? They certainly are very close to one another, but I think Chris is going to be in the top 10 again in the Old Fox Racing PlayStation. Nice battle there in the end with Chris Winstanley in 10th place and Frankie in 11th, with Simon Banter completing the finishers. Again, everyone has finished this race. There is the result, Simon Allen the winner. Let's see if we see the standings, and it's very hot at the top. Look at these 5 points between the top 3 with 2 rounds, 4 races to go. It will certainly be a very interesting championship. Stay with us.